It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday morning, April 23rd. I'm James Spann. Very active late April pattern setting up here for the next 7 days. We'll have occasional chances for rain and storms along the way. Certainly a severe weather threat on Saturday, then another dynamic system toward the middle of next week. And at this point, that one raises more questions than answers. So let's go in there and see if we can talk our way through this. Got a trough over the eastern U.S. this morning, pretty cold up north. And the old subtropical jet stream screaming in from the west, from the Pacific. And the models did not do a good job with the QPF fields for today. Most models advertised rain this morning. That's a radar at 5:06, and there's nothing out there, despite a surface front in the area. But we notice west of the state a big massive rain and storms over Arkansas and Louisiana. That was the Little Rock radar at 5:15 this morning. And that is a wave embedded in the subtropical jet, and it now looks like that will ultimately come in here this afternoon. So we'll have to adjust the forecast. Instead of rain this morning, the better chance of rain will be this afternoon. Sometimes that happens in a complex pattern like this. We're starting off the day in the 50s, Birmingham at 57, cooler up north, Decatur's at 51. We'll expect a high today in the upper 60s and low 70s. And up north, look at all those frost and freeze warnings in effect. Cities like Chicago and Indianapolis and Louisville and Cincinnati, where it's just cold. But let's take a look at the convective potential later today and tonight. A couple of slight risks west of the state, a marginal risk, including Mobile and Pensacola. Tomorrow should be a very active day west of the state, a couple of enhanced risks, one from near Waco over to Shreveport and Monroe, Louisiana. Another one just south of Kansas City. And here we go. This is Saturday. All 67 Alabama counties in a standard slight risk, and that includes many of the adjacent states, all of Mississippi, most all of Tennessee. And we'll obviously focus on that event as we look at modeling here in just a second. And this is day 4, which is Sunday. We have a risk over Texas, and day 5, which is Monday. We have a higher risk over Texas, the I-35 corridor. And the question is, could that bring severe weather to Alabama toward the middle of next week? And again, like we've said, the confidence in this one is lower. I mean, no doubt we'll have rain and storms. The severe weather possibilities are in question. Here's a QPF for the next 5 days. This valid through Tuesday morning of next week. The bigger numbers over North Louisiana. The bullseye is 4.1 inches between Shreveport and Monroe. Around here, rain amounts between 1 and 2 inches are likely. But let's dive into this. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid at 1 o'clock this afternoon at 500 millibars. You see the troughing over the northeast and a big trough hanging back around Baja, California. Those tend to be mysterious. They're not really in the American upper air network, and sometimes they don't behave as you expect. So again, just strap in and be aware that there'll be some changes to this forecast as we go. But again, today's a good example. We're starting off the day with nothing. That's the synoptic look off the GFS. But look at the HER model. This is 3 o'clock this afternoon. All of a sudden, it's got this big, massive rain south of the surface front, or south of a line from near Vernon to Warrior to Alexandria. This would include the I-20 corridor, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and Anniston. The northern counties up there are dry, back in the drier air. So, again, there's a first flip of the day. Instead of rain this morning, we'll have a better chance of rain this afternoon and this evening. Now, tomorrow, big surface low forms on the Colorado-Kansas border. And as we've talked about, I think a pretty decent part of the day will be dry. Maybe partly sunny with mid-70s. And obviously, severe weather could very well break out and probably will west of the state. This is Friday night, just after midnight. This is technically 1 a.m. Saturday. The surface low is still very deep, just west of Kansas City. And a warm front at that point should be lifting northward. And we should see rain and storms tomorrow night. I don't think we have any big severe weather problems tomorrow night, although a severe storm is possible near that warm front. And this is Saturday, and you can see the setup there. We have a deep surface low at St. Louis. It's still 995 millibars. And we are clearly in the warm sector. And let me just say up front, there's a whole lot of things happening Saturday. Spring sports, outdoor weddings. I've had probably 36 questions. And up front, we say it's not going to rain all day. The sun could break out at times, but where storms do form and where they do come, they could be strong to severe. This is the high-resolution NAM, and this runs to 60 hours. This is valid Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, and it's got this batch of storms blowing through early in the day. And then at 1 o'clock, it's kind of suggesting there could be a break in the midday hours with no rain. Can't promise that, but there's a chance that could happen, and maybe the sun breaks out and you'll get something in outdoors. A very real chance you might get a ball game in or something. But later in the day and Saturday evening, there's probably going to be another round of storms. This is the instability Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, and you can see over much of North and West Alabama, the surface-based capes are over 2,000 joules per kilogram. The wind fields are not overwhelming, but they're certainly strong enough for severe storms. This is valid Saturday evening again at 7 o'clock, and the wind fields are in the 40-knot range at 5,000 feet. This is the low-level jet. This is the shear. Now, this is between 0 and 1 kilometers, storm relative helicity. And while the higher values are east of the state, they're still certainly supportive of rotating updrafts. And the energy helicity index is just very high. This is showing EHI values between 3 and 5 units, and anything over really 1 is significant. Haven't seen EHI values like that in a while. So, that's the deal. Rain and storms Friday night, maybe into Saturday morning. There could be a break in the rain midday Saturday. More storms late Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Severe storms are possible at any time during those rounds of storms, but especially the ones that form late in the day during the peak of the instability. And I would say all modes of severe weather are possible. Large hail, strong straight-line winds, and maybe an isolated tornado. And so needless to say, we'll have to be weather aware on Saturday. Now, Sunday, that feature is east of the state, and we're dry. Sunday should be a dry day. We'll see a high maybe around 80. Should be a fairly warm day. And Monday, here comes our next system west of the state. You can see a couple of surface lows over Texas. Monday looks dry. High would be maybe around 80. A pretty decent amount of sun filtered by high clouds. Now, this is Tuesday of next week. You can see a very vigorous shortwave in the jet just west of the state. But clearly, the global models have been trending southward with the surface low, and that would reduce any severe weather threat. We'll certainly mention a chance of rain and storms on Tuesday, but if this configuration is correct, the severe weather possibilities would be near the Gulf Coast or in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And this is Wednesday, and the surface low stays on a southerly track. It comes across South Alabama, and by Wednesday, it's over near Savannah, Georgia. And the rain would be winding down Wednesday if this is right. But clearly, there's not a whole lot of confidence in this. But the good news, with the surface low trending farther south, that reduces the severe weather threat. And this is a very well-supported system with good upper air support. Just for the fun of it, this is the European Wednesday, and it's so far south, it's got the rain shield basically in the Gulf, suggesting it doesn't rain that much up here. We'll roll more with a wet solution. We'll mention a good chance of rain and storms Tuesday and Wednesday, and obviously we'll fine-tune the forecast as we get closer. And this is Thursday, a week from today. A very deep surface low is near Virginia Beach, and that's suggesting maybe a lingering shower, but all of that's pretty far east of here. Here's the end of the forecast. This is May 2nd. This is Saturday of next week, not this weekend, but the following weekend, troughing on the East Coast. And if that's right, that day would be dry and pleasant. Temperatures, look at this thing ramping up to 86 degrees. Goodness, that's on Sunday. Wow. I'm not so sure it gets that warm, but again, this is kind of an average of all the members of the ensemble, and then a cool down by the middle of next week, and then we go back in the 80s as May begins. And when May begins, summer's almost here, and it's supposed to be up in the 80s that time of the year. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock today. If you can, join us this evening on the live stream of the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.